Good morning. It's Monday. We gotta take the boys, go get some parts for our anhydrous bar, get this thing fixed up. I've got a list here. We really only need one thing, but I'm gonna get some spares of some other stuff just in case. Plus, we're going to a different deer dealer than we normally go to today. One that I have more confidence will have the parts that we need because they sell more of these type of bars than our normal dealer. And what do we have for there, boys? What do we have though? Coupons. Coupons for the boys to get some toys. So they're excited for that. So hopefully we'll be able to get some anhydrous on here later this morning. Dad went to Berkey. He's got one more load to spray on our wheat down there. Head scab fungicide, finishing that job up. And then he's going to be back around here working on some stuff. So there's our piece that we needed. I put the new tube in it. We got to get a beaver tail and put on and get it put on the bar. I think we're good. We went through and did a check of all the other row units just to make sure everything is good, everything's back together, we are in good shape. So let's go finish that field that we were in. Well then, I cannot freaking win. Cannot win. Like, there's no pressure on that. Why is that spewing hydraulic oil everywhere? I've got it floated. It's in float. Spewing oil. Son of a... What am I gonna... Well, we got 3 acres done. Shut the tractor off. That stopped it. Cannot win. Cannot freaking win. Can't catch a break. Nothing. Right there. We blew a hydraulic hose. Let's see, where does it go? It goes to that cylinder right there. Goes from there. Somewhere down in there, I'm guessing, to that block. Oh, great. Just what we needed. Phil was bringing another tank down there because I wasn't going to have enough anhydrous to finish that field anyway. So he helped me get that hose off when we came back. There was that fitting on one end of it. He's going to get a new hose. We're going to need a bucket of hydraulic oil. We lost a bunch there. So I'm going to get that around. Man, that's frustrating. So I brought 5 gallons of oil up and put it in the tractor, and then I had some time to kill here, and I thought, let's go look for that boot. I found it! Found it, found it. So when that is not attached, it blows anhydrous out, and we got some leaf burn. And so I could see where the leaf burn started. We made a couple of rounds. We made a few rounds after it fell off. I should have caught it quicker, but there it is. There's the piece we lost. If only we could have found that yesterday. Then the hydraulic line would have blown yesterday, and we would have, yeah, whatever. Not a big deal. All right, Phil went to get a line, so I'm just waiting for him to get back. There goes a spray plane. Spraying wheat, maybe? Not bird poop or dirt on the windshield. It's way over there. Cover crop? Nah, couldn't be exceeding cover crop. Probably spraying wheat. Interesting. Hose is back on, all attached. Take whatever number we're on for the field. Let's try again. Have I filmed actually running yet? I don't think I have. Well, here we're actually running. It is dusty. We're going to talk about how dry it's getting here in a little bit, but right now I've got one more round to finish this field, and then we're going to be happy that we're finishing the field. Row would be 14 over there is gassing off a little bit. I checked it when we were stopped because I noticed it before, and I didn't see anything wrong, but it just, it's not. It's just something doesn't look quite right there. We're going to finish our round, and then we'll check it over again. Nope, I lied. Our tank is empty. We're going to change tanks, and then we're going to check it over again. Oh, we're back to pulling doubles. I Switched tanks there, and I checked that row out. I didn't find anything wrong. I pulled the hose off. I thought maybe there was a hole in it or something. Did not find anything wrong with it. So we're going to keep running. Row 14 seems to be fine. All right, we have one more pass, and then we're finally done with this field. Finally. You can see the oil spill from the oil geyser that we had there. That corn's going to turn brown. The leaf tissue is going to die off. I suspect it will come back because the growing point is below ground and we actually kill it. We just melted the leaf tissue off of it, more or less. What am I going to do? Nothing you can do about it. It happens. Finally, we are done with this field. Now we jump right across the intersection into that one. That's our next field. It's where we went from here planting, so makes sense. So we're getting here. I've done the stuff over there around the trees. There's our map. We gotta work across here. Oh, yeah. If I sit too far back, it doesn't think I'm in the seat. Anyway, we're going along. It's going okay here. Now, you can see it's very dusty. Our soil is getting very dry. We have not had rain in almost 2 weeks now. A good 10 days. And it wasn't very much. It was dry before that. Coming out of, you know, a fairly dry April, but still periods of rain and wetness. But we've only had 1.3 inches of rain the entire month of May. And here's our forecast. You can see it's not looking good. Hot and sunny this week. Now, our crops like mid-80s. They like sunshine. Those are good things, but we have to have some moisture. And so I can already see in these stressed areas our corn starting to curl up, starting to just look not great. You're not going to be able to see it here. We'll get out and look at something somewhere, but on the clay knobs, anywhere that was a little bit too wet when we planted it, we've got a crappy root system, shallow, just small root system from the wet soils or maybe compacted soils. That's going to stress the corn. It's not going to be good for it. And how much the dry weather right now is affecting our final yield, it's hard for me to say. We're still very early. I have said that I would much rather be dry now than I would in July or August. So there's that. We're putting a good root system down. That corn is chasing the moisture deeper into the soil profile, which is good, but you never want corn to have a bad day. And we are starting to stress it. So the V5 growth stage is critical time in corn because that is when it is setting the number of rows around on every ear. If we're dry, then it's going to abort rows. We're going to have a lot of 12s and 14s instead of 16s and 18s, and that hurts our yield potential. That's not good. You'll never get that back. And so this early planted corn that we got in early, and that's a great thing for sunlight capture and growing season and everything else, it's going to get to V5 before the rest of this late planted corn. It may go through that stressful time under dry conditions, and then if we catch a rain later, the late corn doesn't go through that stressful time under such dry conditions. This could come back to bite us. Who knows? I have no idea at this point. We took a gamble a little bit, and you have no idea at the time. I still think it was the right decision. I will still think it's the right decision, even if our corn doesn't yield as good as our late corn, our early corn. That's farming. That's part of it. Now, there is another concern I have with this application, right? We do know that this anhydrous application, anhydrous ammonia, is lacking water. It is seeking to bind with water in our soil. As our soil profile dries out, there's not enough moisture, there's not much moisture there for it to bind with. And so we'll end up gassing some off and losing it. Now, I don't see it right now. It's not puffing off. We're still okay. Maybe getting a little bit worse today than it was yesterday. It's going to get worse every day. I don't know at what point it is too dry to actually apply anhydrous. I don't know that I've ever seen that condition. And so something we're going to have to watch today and tomorrow and hope that we can finish side dressing this early corn tomorrow, and then we're going to wait on the late stuff and hope to get some more rain, get some moisture into that soil profile. Now, if we were applying 28 or a different form of nitrogen, that is subject to loss and volatilization just as much, or if not more, than the anhydrous is And I would actually be more nervous about applying 28, especially surface applied out here, wide dropped or something else, than I am about the anhydrous. At least the anhydrous is going in the ground. So, yeah, things are starting to not be great. I have zero control over it. There is nothing that I can do across a wide number of acres to counteract this dry weather. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. So I kept watching row 14, and it still at times, not always, but sometimes seemed to be spewing out more gas than it should have been, even when not in a tire track or something. So I went out and decided to shorten the hose. So that's what that piece there is. There was a couple of spots on it. Let's see. Where are the wear spots? Right there is one where I thought, it's a little thin, but I don't actually see a hole. Can you see that? Right there. And then the other one was on this end. It's chafed up here really bad, and it is really thin. I don't see the hole, but it is possible that there is one, especially right there. So I cut it off. In the process of cutting it off, I almost cut my finger off. We're gonna see if the bleeding stops. Dang it. We are having a rough couple of days getting the weekend started, or the week started here. Breakdowns, injuries. It's a little tough. It's okay. I see other tanks going down the road. Other people are also side dressing right now, so that's good. Makes me feel a little better, I guess, that we're not the only ones out here doing this. All right, we are back at the farm. We got that field done, a little 9-acre piece across the road from that one. So I pulled up in front of the shop here because I'm going to take line row 14 to be line number 15 off and blow some air through it. I don't know why it seems to be leaking more, and I don't know if maybe there's something plugging the nozzle up a little bit. I don't know. I'm going to look into it a little bit. So that's why we parked here. Then we need fuel and then on to the next field. Plus, I should probably check on the boys, who I just kind of dumped off on my sister, and that was not very nice of me. So here's our distributor. I expect those to be fine, but we've got our hoses somewhere. Where did it go? Where did it go? Right here. We're going to blow air through that, and that should come out this row. Maybe some dirt will fly out, and then I'm going to do another one that row. And we'll see if we get anything. I doubt it, but it's worth a shot. The boys have got the sprinkler out and squirt bottles, and they're having squirt bottle wars. So anyway, I got fueled up. We got our DEF, and I blew those lines out. Didn't get anything out. I don't think it'll make any difference. We'll see when we get to the field, but we're going to go. We got a lot to do yet tonight if we can. So we're just going to keep moving. We do have some really beautiful corn in here. This is the exact pass where we did our pop can challenge with the corn planter a few weeks ago. April 27th, I believe it was. This is planted the same day as the field that we had to replant, but much better soil types and drainage here. And you look across this corn, it's some of the biggest, most beautiful stuff that we have been in yet. I really like how everything looks. Now there is a ridge over there. There was one up by the barn, a spot over on that side that is a little thin. The corn's a little smaller for whatever reason, just different soil types, and that rain that we got right after and cold temps hurt that, but most of this looks really good. I'm pretty happy with it. So we'll see how it goes and how we do here, but I am starting to really question my choices on being out here. Like, it still looks good and it's sealing well, but every time I lift up on the ends, I can see within a minute where we're burning this corn. It's hurting it because there's no moisture in the soil. There's very low humidity today. We're at like 35% humidity. So the only moisture that the anhydrous can find is the corn leaves, and it's pulling it out of them and it's burning them, and this corn's gonna look really ugly in a few days. And the dry weather on top of that is compounding it and not making it better. The problem is my alternatives aren't better. We don't have better options. We don't have any options. Well, I mean, we do, but nothing that I like better than what we're doing now. The burn situation only gets worse the longer we wait. It only gets drier. It only gets hotter this week. So I don't know what we're gonna do. Finally, we made it across this field. We're working on the last pass here. Everything does still look to be sealing pretty well. I like I said, I'm getting nervous about not having enough moisture in the soil to hold our anhydrous, but when I really watch the rows, they actually look like they're doing a really good job. This bar never fails to impress me and how good of a job it does, minus when hydraulic lines blow up. Oh, yeah, we redressed my cut there. So the goal for the night, we've got 78 acres right across the ditch here that we're going to try and get done tonight. What time is it? It's a little after 5. We shouldn't have any trouble doing that. It might be 9 o'clock before we're done, but Phil's got enough anhydrous there for us, and we've got time. We should be able to get that tonight. So keep moving, I guess, and hope for rain. We just need some rain. So this particular field that we're in now is very rocky, particularly that ridge over there. Man, I really am slowing down where there's a bunch of rocks, trying not to break anything. And also of interest, see this little ridge right in front of us here? When we get up here, see if you can see it any better or not. Sorry, I'm watching my pressure gauges too because our tank is about empty. But there's a bunch of broken bricks up on this little ridge because there used to be a brick factory here. Yeah. That's the type of soil that we have. And what's underneath this little bit of topsoil, it's clay. Enough clay that you can make bricks. Right up here, you can start to see there's a bunch of chunks of orange bricks from when there was a brick factory. Right there. I was just turning around here on the end and I noticed that thing there that was not there earlier. What the heck is that? And I started looking. And it moved. It's a turtle. Look at it. Hold on. I have no idea where it came from or where he's going. But that's a big old turtle. And there ain't no water out here, bud. None. We got a long ways to go. Oh, shoot, I missed it when it happened. We broke 500 hours on the 8RX today. It's all right. It's okay. It'll be fine. It's been a good tractor. I don't like putting hours on it though. I mean, I love driving it, but I don't like seeing that hour meter ticking up. It's okay. It's not new anymore. It's still a nice tractor. We are about 50 acres into this field. I have some done over there. We got to finish behind the house and then do the point there. I think there's like 78 here total. So this tank, we just hooked onto this tank at the start of this round, should be very close. We should get a little over 30 acres out of one of these tanks. We have 30 acres to do. Should be very close. So we'll see how we come out. It's interesting coming back over fields, especially like this one, where we clearly had a rock stuck in a closing wheel. And there's corn there, but not very good corn. You know, it was only a 50 foot or so, not even that, 25 feet that it did it, but yeah, every time a rock got stuck in our closing wheels, it affected our stand a little bit. Done, just after 8 o'clock here. So that's all we're gonna do tonight. This tank did make it, but there's very little left in it. It says we got 300 pounds, 340. That's not enough to worry about dragging it to another field because the next fields are 10 miles away, not the direction of the supplier. So I'm just gonna drop it here in the field. We're gonna hook onto that tank that is full, and we will take that with us in the morning. Okay. My finger is making it very hard to hold this phone because I can't bend it. Anyway, we got this tank hooked up. I hooked the hose up, but we did not open the valves or anything. We're down the road. So we're gonna go back to the farm for the night, and then tomorrow we've got a group of fields at 10 miles away. There's, I'm trying to remember how much is there exactly. There's an 80 and a 67 and another 75, whatever that equals. A little over 200, 220, something like that. Should be able to get it done, no problem. So that's the goal for tomorrow. And then there is one more field of early corn that I kind of forgot about, and then I was driving to this one. I'm like, oh yeah, we got to do that one yet. There's 195 acres in it. We won't get there tomorrow. I don't know. We're just going to have to see what this dry weather is going to do. So I'm going to go back to the farm and go seek medical advice from my former ER nurse mother and see if I need to get medical attention on my finger here. It doesn't look like anything because it's all closed up. but I've been told not to bend my finger. So we're gonna not. It's right on that knuckle. Yeah. Good news, I don't need any stitches. I have a bag of supplies. We're gonna leave this wrapped and put another big thing on so I can't bend it. Oh well. I should try and get some glue and super glue it, but I'm afraid to open it at this point. I don't know if putting some on top would help or not. Anyway, we gotta go check our corn. Last time I'm gonna check for emergence for that one straggler. We're gonna go dig if it's not there and see if there's even a seed there. I'm guessing there is not a seed there. So let's go see. Well, it didn't come up today. I didn't even bring a red flag because I figured there was no way it was there. This corn is growing though. Let's see if we can find a seed or a plant or anything. I am guessing we aren't going to find anything. Except for dry dirt. Oh, right there. Dang. So what happened to it? Why didn't it come? That's interesting to me. I thought for sure we wouldn't find it. Well, good news is our planter did a fantastic job. Did exactly what it was supposed to do. Bad news is we had one that didn't make it. Kind of unrolled and unleafed underground. I don't know exactly what would have caused that. That one was not going to make it. Clearly. Interesting. There's a little moisture there yet. That's the thing. We are not hurting horribly right now. Starting to hurt, yes. If it rained in the next day or two, I would say we still have very, very good crop potential. Like, we'll be fine. Problem is, it's not going to rain in the next day or two. Might not rain in the next week or two. And so, when you start adding all of that up, yeah, we're in trouble. There's our seed. For some reason, that one grew crooked and leafed out underground and wasn't going to make it. If only them storm clouds would blow up and throw some rain on us. Oh well. Alright guys, thanks for watching today. Hit that like and subscribe button. I got dirty because of the oil spills. Oh well. One more day, hard day of anhydrous, and then I think we're going to take a little break from that. We got some other stuff going on at the end of the week, but we should get a lot done tomorrow and do well. So like and subscribe if you haven't already. I would appreciate that. If you have any questions and comments, feel free to leave them down below. And we will see you guys again tomorrow. Don't play with knives.